It's the Joe Show. It's Technology Tuesday here on the Joe Show. I don't know what that was. It was a terrible robot or a really bad modem connecting to the internet. Who knows? That said, let's read an article today about technology. And today's technology is actually fairly new. It came out a couple weeks ago from a San Francisco-based AI laboratory called OpenAI. They released a new sort of, AI network that you can interact with that works as an API, which means pretty much what an API is a set of instructions that live on a server somewhere that you as the user send instructions to or send requests to, and then it responds to your requests. So you be storing weather data. You write, what is the weather in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it responds back 67 degrees. So it's a set of instructions that live somewhere on a server that you can interact with. So this API is one of the most advanced, language predictors in the world. The closest competitor is 10 times less. So this is 10 times more impressive at 175 billion parameters. And to help me explain it, I found this article that says GPT-3 explained in under 3 minutes because I am not capable of explaining it to you. I need somebody a little bit smarter than me or a little bit more eloquent than me to explain this. Let's see what he's got to say. And then afterwards, I will be playing an AI dungeon generated by the GPT-3 framework. I was already messing around with it a little bit, and it seems like it's pretty fun. It's an AI-generated, human-readable, interactive adventure, and then people have put in all sorts of weird stuff. I was playing with one that had to do with SpongeBob. We'll get into it in a minute. Let's see what GPT-3 is all about. So you've seen some amazing GPT-3 demos on Twitter. If not, where have you been? This mega machine learning model created by OpenAI can write its own op-eds, poems, articles, and even working code. That's right, I actually saw a video on Twitter where some guy typed in, I want you to make a button that looks like a watermelon. And it made a button that looked like a watermelon and it said watermelon. It was crazy. The fact that you can just type that in, human readable information or human readable input, and it spits back out something almost exactly what you want, or if not exactly what you want. If you want to try out GPT-3 today, you'll need to be whitelisted by OpenAI, but the applications of this model seem endless. You could ostensibly use it to query a SQL database in plain English. You could automatically comment code, automatically generate code, write trendy article headlines, write viral tweets, and a whole lot more. But what's going on under the hood of this incredible model? Here's a brief look inside. GPT-3 is a neural network powered language model. A language model is a model that predicts the likelihood of a sentence existing in the world. For example, a language model can label the sentence, I take my dog for a walk, as more probable to exist, i.e. on the internet or in a book, than the sentence, I want to take my banana for a walk. But he needs to go out sometimes. This is true for sentences as well as phrases and, more generally, any sequence of characters. Like most language models, GPT-3 is elegantly trained on an unlabeled text dataset. In this case, the training data includes, among others, common crawling the internet, just crawling the internet and reading everything that's out there, and also Wikipedia articles. Words or phrases are randomly removed from the text, and the model then must learn to fill them using only the surrounding words as context. It's a simple training task that results in a powerful and generalizable model. Meaning what happened is it would go out there and read everything on the internet, and then it would take random things, remove it from the context, and then ask the model, what is this? And the model would have to figure out, using everything it had learned previously, what it was, and look at everything also around that sentence and figure out what it was. That's how they train the model with random pieces that they just took off the internet. I hope that makes sense. The GPT-3 model architecture itself is a transformer-based neural network. This architecture became popular around 2 or 3 years ago, and this is the basis of the popular NLP, or Natural Language Processing Model BERT. Bert Kreischer? And the GPT-3 predecessors, GPT-2, from an architecture perspective, GPT-3 is not actually very novel or new. So what makes it special and magical? It's really big. I mean, really big. With 175 billion parameters, it's the largest language model ever created, an order of magnitude larger than its nearest competitor, as I mentioned before, and was trained on the largest data set of any language model. Thus, it appears the main reason GPT-3 is so impressively smart and human sounding is because it's so big. But here's the really magical part. As a result of its humongous size, GPT-3 can do what no other model can do well, which is perform specific tasks without any special tuning. You can ask GPT-3 to be a translator, a programmer, a poet, a famous author, and it can do it with its user, being you or me, providing fewer than 10 training examples, which in AI is crazy. Less than 10 is so little examples, it's not even funny. Generally, they need hundreds or thousands of examples to make a really smart model. This is what makes GPT-3 so exciting in machine learning. Other language models like BERT require an elaborate fine-tuning step where you gather thousands of examples of French-English sentences pairs and teach it how to do the translation. To adapt BERT to a specific task like translation, summarization, spam detection, etc., you have to go out and find a large training data set on the order of thousands or tens of thousands of examples, like I just said, which can be very cumbersome or sometimes impossible, depending on the task. With GPT-3, you don't need to do the fine-tuning step. That very important step to train BERT is completely removed. This is the heart of it. This is what gets people excited about GPT-3. Custom language tasks without the training data. Today, GPT-3 is just in private beta, but boy, oh boy, everyone is excited to get their hands on it. And a lot of people have already gotten their hands on it and done crazy things, like I said, generate watermelon buttons. People are writing poems. One guy got a viral blog that he created using this GPT-3 AI. And there's also AI Dungeons, the classic text adventure game remade with GPT-3 AI Dungeons, where we're about to enter a world of endless possibilities and we can do absolutely anything we imagined. How will we proceed? Let's play and see what happens here. I'm gonna hop right in. Hey, we've been hard at work. Here's what would happen. Blah, blah, blah. Updates. We don't really care. Enter. New game. Single player. Let's do it. First thing we have to do is pick a setting. It says fantasy, mystery, apocalyptic, zombies, cyberpunk, custom, or archive. Since it recommends fantasy, we're just going to go with fantasy. I'm going to type in 1. Now it asks me to select a character, a noble, a princess, a knight, a wizard, a witch, a ranger, a squire, a peasant, and a rogue. That in itself could be some sort of poem, I'm sure. I'm going to go with a wizard because I like magic. Wizard. Enter your character's name. Joe Showeth. Generating the story. Let's see here. You are Joe Showeth, a wizard in the kingdom of Larian. You have a staff and a spell book. You finish your long journey and finally arrive at the rune you've been looking for. You have come here searching for a mystical spellbook of great power called the Book of Essence. That should have been capitalized. You look around and see a few bones in the corner of the room. These must be the remains of other adventurers that came before you. You decide to leave the place and search elsewhere. Wait, but I want to find out if the magical book is in the ruins. Like, what the heck? So a couple things. I wish they would have capitalized a couple things like Kingdom of Larian and Book of Essence. But so far, this is, very readable text. The other thing I will say is I did this earlier, and this is not the quest that I was on and not the story that was generated. I didn't go past this point, but it was completely different. There was like a person talking to me and shouting something at me. So this is 100% different. It says next quest is to find the magical book called the Book of Essence. Apparently I can just start typing what I want to do. So we've come here searching for a mystical spellbook of great power called the Book of Essence. We don't see any bones. We see some bones in the corner of the room, but nothing else. Can we examine bones? Can we do that? Examine the bones, GPT-3. There are... Oh, next quest. Yeah, I'm going to quote that. You examine bones. You stroke one of the skulls. Good skull. Yes, you're a good skull. And hear a click from somewhere inside of it. Suddenly, a part of the skull's forehead comes off. A small metal device drops on the floor. That is hella unexpected in this fantasy setting. A metal device falls off of a skull. This sounds more like a sci-fi setting. Examine device. Let's see here. Examine device. Let's see here. What is this device? When you pick up the small device, a loud humming noise is emitted from it. You have found a lockpick. All one word. A lockpick. You pick the lock of the door with your new lockpick and enter the next room. I didn't even realize that there was another room to be had, so interesting. Examine room. Let's see what's in this room. The next room contains a truck engine and other car parts on a table. The room also has 2 doors. One door has a sign that reads gasoline. This got really weird very quickly. I examined the bones and then all of a sudden I had a metal device and now I'm in a truck repair room. This does not seem like a fantasy setting at all. Use spell book. Let's see if I can use my spell book and see what happens. Let's take it back to the realm of fantasy. You search the Book of Shadows. The book contains many powerful spells, but your search brings you no closer to finding the Book of Essence. There is something else in the Book of Shadows that you hadn't noticed before. What is in the Book of Shadows? Let's see here. You find many notes, sketches, and other documents in the book. But what else is in the Book of Shadows? You find a letter in the book. The letter is from the book's previous owner and claims that only he made a few copies of the book. That's fine. There can be other copies of this book. Let's see here. Use magic spell to teleport to the Book of Essence. Let's see if we can break the game. Quest completed! I found a magical spellbook called the Book of Essence. Bah! Take that, GPT-3. You can't outsmart a wizard. Use the spell book to teleport to the Book of Essence. You are transported to the Book of Essence. You walk over to the book and pick it up. Suddenly, a bright flash of light is seen in the distance of the library. Open. Do I have a new quest, though? I need a new new quest. Oh my god. New quest. If I can type. Luckily, the Wizards Guild is always willing to help out a wizard in need. You soon finish your report and get a new quest. The quest is to search for an item called the Soul Gem. Teleport to the stone to Thanos. Because Thanos has the Soul Gem, right? The Wizards Guild is located in the capital city land of Thanos. In the capital city of the land of Thanos. You have never been to this city before, but you know a portal is located outside the largest library in the kingdom. Teleport to the library. You are teleported to the library. The library is a large place, as libraries go. You walk down the marble stairway onto the main room of the library. Use portal to the city of Thanos. You are teleported to the city of Thanos! The city of Thanos is a large place. In fact, it is so large you lose all sense of direction. But Thanos is a person. Thanos is not a person, but a nation. Whoa, okay, settle down. It's a nation. You said that so matter of factly. Steal soul gem from the nation of Thanos. You wander through the streets of the city looking for a place to commit your new crime. You eventually come across a jewelry store. You walk inside and steal a soul gem from the jewelry store. Is this the soul gem? Yes, this is the soul gem. Now you have everything you need to commit your first ever crime. You just need to decide where to do it. Do you A? Are you going to give me multiple choices? Where can I do my wizard crime? You decide to do your crime in the Wizards Guild. That's where all magic using criminals are sure to be. Wait, now I'm gonna rob the Wizard Guild that gave me all of my magic power? No. I don't want to commit a crime Oops, double M. Crime. I want to sleep. Yeah. You return to the inn and sleep. Unfortunately, you don't get much sleep since you are being kept awake by the sound of a city far away from a peaceful slumber. I want to quit the game. Quite the game? No, quit the game. Quit! Game over! That's it? Exit. End! The end? I can't, guys, I can't leave the game. I'm stuck here. Yes, the end. So I can leave? Sure, why not? You continue. No. Close this tab, though. Yes, please do so. I mean, at least it's being respectful because I'm messing with it. Yeah, I take off my pants and jacket. You take off your pants and put on a loose-fitting shirt. Then you take off your shoes and put on socks. After this, you take off your jacket and wrap it around yourself. Okay, I can't. I was going to be gross, but I can't. Not going to do it. Not on the Joe Show. Come back next time and maybe I'll do something gross with the GPT-3, but that's been the GPT-3 Adventure dungeon. I was promised a fantasy setting and instead I ended up in a garage and then I just started teleporting around. So then we got back to the fantasy setting and we learned about the nation of Thanos and then I stole a gem from a jewelry store. In terms of it reacting to what I'm typing in, I thought it did a good job in reacting to what I was typing in, but in terms of keeping a consistent storyline and generating a dungeon, I don't think it did that at all. It kind of failed miserably at that. This seems very primitive and not a real great text adventure. I'm curious to see what will happen in the future with the AI dungeon. I had a good time. It made me laugh. Definitely, if you're looking for a laugh, you can check out the AI dungeon, play.aidungeon.io. Otherwise, now you know a little bit about GPT-3. You can hop onto OpenAI's website if you are interested in working with GPT-3. There are much better examples in this AI dungeon, but this was pretty cool. I'm curious to see how it's going to grow as it is the largest text processor of its kind. 175 billion parameters is insane. Totally cool. That's GPT-3 in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed it. That's been today's Joe Show. If you find a cool tech, you can send it to hijoeshow@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button, mash that like button, hit the bell to get a notification when I upload a new video because I tech you.